They say that if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. But you, my friend, not only decided to stand up, but you standing up has you standing out. I need you to know that even you being in a crowd or amongst a crowd, something about you is just different. Now, we talk about being different all the time. You are uniquely made. You got your own God-given gifts, skills, and talents. You are set apart. We talk about that all the time. But now I had a dream that's going to help us really get a little deeper and understand a little bit more as to what it is that you do that has you standing up and standing out. Now, there is also a warning, dare I might say, because being amongst the crowd is not where you belong. So like I said, even though you're amongst certain things or you're in certain atmospheres and you're in certain areas, environments, even though you stand up and you stand out, your gifts, skills, and talents are being called elsewhere. And the people who don't go to where they are called to go, they turn into something scary. Hence this color green today, because they turn into zombies. I'm going to tell you this dream, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to break it down to you. Now, make sure you stick around and collect these revelations, because you might be surprised as to what it is that you're doing that you don't know you're doing and how you're being viewed as you're doing it. So listen to this dream, and then I'll be back to let you know what it means. So you're in this massive theater, and the theater is absolutely beautiful. You're closer towards the front of the stage because in the dream, you are well known. Even amongst this crowd of strangers that you were sitting with, you had a little bit more notoriety, and the people who were in the crowd knew who you were. Now, as everyone is watching the stage, the curtains open and the time just goes by. And you're like, I have somewhere to be. I can't sit here and wait on these people to come to the stage all night. So you decide you have to go. You stand up, and when you stand up, suddenly from the back of the theater at the top, whoosh, they shine this huge spotlight on you. So you're bending over, gathering your belongings, putting them in your bag, and you come out into the aisle to walk towards the exit, and the spotlight is just following you. Now you're looking at the stage and you realize whoever was supposed to come to the stage, whatever type of entertainment was supposed to be there, it wasn't there. So as you're walking, you're looking amongst the crowd, and all of a sudden things got real eerie, because as you're looking at them, you're noticing their faces are zombie-like. Now, some people are starting to come into consciousness awareness, and they're looking at you. But the rest of them were glued with their eyes to the stage as if something was actually happening on the stage. But every time you looked at the stage, nobody was there. Nothing was happening. But some of the people were caught in a trance, and they could not turn and look to the left or to the right. They could only stare at the stage. And you found this a little weird. But again, you had somewhere else to be. So you make your exit. Now, once you leave the theater, there are 2 security guards who are on both sides of you. And then there's a group of security guards at this fleet van that was waiting for you. The door was already open. So you make your way to the fleet van, you get inside, and you drive off. Right now, we're going to be breaking down this dream. We're going to be choosing a number. You're going to choose the number that you feel most drawn to. And of course, I tell you guys, listen to all of them. It's just the number you choose, maybe a little bit more highlighted in your life at this time. Okay. So ladies and gentlemen, let's get into the meaty, juicy elements of this dream and find out how it could possibly apply to you. So choose your number, and I'll see y'all in the messages. All right. If you chose number 1, okay, you're going to have to follow me. You got from consumer to producer. Okay, now give me a second to massage this thing and lay it on out for you. Okay, so we start off in the theater, which is actually, you could say your number, you got the theater, but it means from consumer to producer. Okay, let me explain how. You're in the theater, and the theater represents a place of entertainment, right? Where you are to be entertained. And you went to this place for that purpose, right? And as you were there, you realized that you had somewhere else to be. You had to then go put in some work somewhere else. Your gift, your skill, your talent was being called elsewhere, right? So in the theater, this was not your time or place to do your thing. It wasn't your space to do it. It wasn't your time to do it. It wasn't your environment to do it. And so what yours is telling you is that in this place, you were the consumer of the entertainment, right? Take, for example, social media. You log on to your social media as the consumer when you want to watch other people's videos, when you are being entertained. But as you are being entertained, you are fully aware that this is not it for you to be the watcher, to be the looker. You are being called elsewhere to be either the entertainer, the front runner. And you know this because even in the midst of you being in a place where your gifts, your skills, and your talents are not being utilized, they're still recognized. And this translates into other parts of your life where you may go somewhere and people see a gift, skill, and talent in you, and they say, you know what, they don't even belong here. Like they should be on somebody's stage somewhere. They should be over there doing that. They got a really great smile. They should be in that area. Some of y'all, you go to your work, you go to your job, and the people, they look at you and they know it's something extra special and different about you, and you don't even belong here. Some people, real life, be jealous of you because they stand next to you and they know I shouldn't even be able to get this close. Some people can see, metaphorically speaking, they can't actually see your future, but they have this bright idea of who you might actually could possibly become. And so you are about to go from consumer. I am the one who goes to the place to be entertained. I am the one who logs on to the social media so that I can, be entertained and scroll and see what everybody else is doing. You are going from I'm the one who is consuming the material to I am the one who is creating the material. Okay? So you're going from one place to the next. Now remember, in the dream, you were in a theater. A theater in the dream realm, according to like textbook definitions, represent expression, being seen. Okay, if you're the one who's on the stage, but more so that whole, it's expression. Okay, and some of you guys, if you're in the theater, if you're in the seat, if you are there as the consumer, then it is again not your place to shine. You're not shining in a place where it's not your place to shine. It's not your time or place to shine, but you are being called to that place. Okay, take it as it applies, because the theater could represent a job, a neighborhood, somewhere where you are not utilizing your gifts and your skills and your talents. But when you leave that place, when you remove yourself from that group of people, when you aren't amongst that crowd, then you are being utilized where you need to be. In other words, as long as you're amongst the crowd, your gifts, your skills, and your talents are not being utilized to their full potential. And what you need to know is that you are being called to go use that elsewhere. No longer, especially for 2024, no longer will you sit back and be in the passenger seat. You're going to the driver's seat. That's a better way to put it. From consumer to producer, from passenger to driver. That's what's happening for you now. Okay. So if it's time for you to uproot yourself and move to a different area, it could be mentally, emotionally, consciously, as I keep saying to you guys in every video. Okay. It doesn't necessarily have to be a physical thing. It's just that you're not going to be the one waiting to be entertained. You're going to be the one putting forth the work and the effort. Okay. So if you chose number one, your gifts, your skills, and talents are about to be utilized in a place where they can be maximized to the fullest potential, okay? From consumer to producer, from passenger to driver. You dig? Let's go ahead and let's get to the next one. Y'all remember that Ludacris song? He'd be like, stand up. Doom, 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 stand up. Okay, so if you chose number 2, that's what you got. You got that moment that you stood up. Okay, so you at the theater, you're waiting, and now it's like, okay, wait a minute, I can't keep sitting here waiting. And then you decided it's time for me to stand up, right? So this is talking about in life, some of y'all may have been waiting on something. Some of y'all may have been waiting on other people to do what they said they was going to do. Some of y'all have been, maybe waiting for certain promises that people made you. Okay, my advice for like the next phase of life, or like what I'm doing, is like, if God didn't promise it, then I ain't finna hold my breath. Okay, I'm not holding my breath. Now that may be something you can adopt moving forward. Who knows? But just, you're in the theater and you're waiting for something and it's not coming. You don't see it. And as you are waiting, time is going by and you have somewhere else to be. So for some of you guys, like, you may be at a job and they keep saying, oh, just keep waiting, the promotion is coming, don't worry about it. Or you in a relationship or you're not in a relationship, you're in a situationship, and the person keeps saying, oh, come on, don't worry about it, just give it some more time. Give me a little more time. It's coming, just give it a little bit more time. Just wait. This is for you to know that this is not your season to just sit back and wait anymore. Okay, the stage is set, the curtains are open, the time is ticking, and it's supposed to be somebody on stage. At this point, somebody was supposed to do what they said they was going to do. Somebody was supposed to be where they said it was going to be, and they're not doing it yet. Have you ever been in a situation with a person who kept saying, oh yeah, I'm going to do that one day, I'm going to do that one day. 15 years go by and it's not happening yet, but you're still sitting there waiting on them? This is your big answer. Hey, listen, go get it for yourself. I often look back because it's 10 years on my dream journey. And I look back at some of the people who I started with 10 years ago. Yeah, we finna do this, we finna do that. How about nobody really did nothing? No diss, but I'm observing the stage. I'm looking at the stage. If I would have sat back and waited for people to do what they talked and said they was going to do, if I sat there and kept consuming that information, kept consuming that energy, stayed around that energy, I wouldn't be anywhere where I am today. And it's a daunting thought to think that if you keep sitting amongst the same crowd of people who keep talking and saying what they're going to do, but they don't do it, you could be sitting right next to them. But see, there's a call and there's something that made you stand up. Because even though those people were willing to wait, I'm going to keep sitting here waiting. Because one day somebody going to come on that stage. They got to come out sooner or later. One day I'm going to be entertained. One day somebody's coming to rescue me. You knew if I keep sitting here, I'll waste away, because you knew you had something valuable that needed to be utilized. And as long as you kept sitting here waiting, it wasn't coming to fruition. What you had wasn't being used. And this in life is also standing up in like leadership. Everybody in the crowd is willing to do the same thing, but you are that one voice who is willing to be different. You are the one person who is willing to stand up and fight for what other people can't fight for, even if you have to stand up by yourself, because you recognize this is not healthy for me to just keep sitting here waiting and wasting my time. Even if you're the only one to stand up and do that, this is what makes you different. It is the moment when you stand up for what you know is right. When you stand up because you know you have to leave. When you stand up because you know your gifts and your skills and your talents can be utilized to 100% if you just get out of this crowd. Now, it's not to say that you're amongst the crowd and this is all your fault. Because remember, like I told you, in the dream, you were already known. People already knew you. They knew who you were. So you were already at a certain level in life. So there's no point to keep sitting here waiting for something that you can go create yourself. All right. So stand up. Number 2, even if no one stands up with you, you're still doing the right thing. Let's go ahead and let's get to the next one. All right. Number 3, you got the spotlight. Okay, it is the moment that you do something different The moment that you decide to stand up, this is when others take notice. So maybe you've recently done something a little different. I mean, it could be something as simple as you changed your nail color, you changed your hair color, you changed your shoes, like whatever it is that you changed. One small change creates a huge difference. And so as you stood up and you declared whatever you declare, so this is life, whatever it is that you said, I'm standing up and I'm doing this and I'm leaving that and I'm finna do this, or whatever it is, however you did it, okay? That put a huge spotlight on you. Now, as you know, in the dream, everybody was staring at this stage and there's nothing happening on the stage. But as you were gathering your things, you noticed that a few other people snapped out of their trance and they were looking at you. This is recognizing you as a leader. You are waking people up with just your actions. Okay? In the dream, you didn't say, hey, everybody, this is crazy. Why are we staring at an empty stage? You didn't say anything. You just made your own moves according to what you knew was best for you. And as you made these moves according to what was best for you, you started gathering the attention of other people who might feel like they need to do the same thing. See, sometimes all it takes is for one person to do something different, and it'll set off a chain reaction for other people to follow suit. And so you are in your leadership vibe during this next season just by doing what's best for you. That's the example. Okay, so you get up, this huge spotlight has been put on you, and you snapped people out of their trance. The other thing that's important to note is that when you stood up, that's when the spotlight hit you. Okay, the attention that you got, you didn't necessarily want it. So some of you guys are about to be hit with some unexpected attention or some unexpected leadership. You ever seen when a recording artist who raps raunchy raps, right? And then people say, you're an example to the young girls. And then they like, well, I wasn't trying to be the example. I'm not trying to be nobody's role model. And if your kids are watching me, that's on you, But it's an unexpected role that they didn't necessarily sign up for that comes with the territory. You're gonna have young girls looking up to you thinking it's okay because you did it, right? This is what you would, some people would say to like a Cardi B or something, right? But this is something that you can't help with whatever it is that's coming to you with this spotlight. For example, some of y'all may get that promotion, and then instead of you standing up, this is you getting a raise, or this is you being promoted. You're going to a new level. This is what the standing up could mean, right? So when you're standing up, it comes with a spotlight. So now you're the manager, you're the supervisor. Now people are watching you extra close because they want to see if you're going to mess up so they can get you fired, right? Or it comes with, oh, now the employees are looking, or people are this, whatever it is that you're doing, that you're getting a promotion or a raise, or you're standing up for something, you're standing out amongst the crowd, is bringing a new spotlight that you didn't necessarily ask for. I think for you, this is more so preparation. Okay. There's for example, I forgot her name, but she playing a Twilight series. And she was saying she loves acting. She loves acting. But she didn't necessarily want to be famous. But in order for her to act at the level of her fullest potential, she had to accept the other realities that are going to come with it. Now you're going to be famous. Now everybody's going to be scrutinized. People going to be all down your throat. People going to be want to know all about your life. It's also interesting to note that the spotlight followed you. And what I got for that is that you then became the main character, right? So whereas there was supposed to be something happening on the stage, you were more entertaining than that for some of the people, okay? So whatever it is that you do, it may just be a little bit more appealing than, let's say, somebody else who had already been doing it, right? The people on the stage, or who were supposed to be on the stage, they study, right? They went through training, and they had rehearsals, and they done a lot to get onto that stage. But even in the midst of the stage being set, you were the main attraction. So for some of you all, when you step up, when you stand out, it will be even more attractive than maybe someone who had done it before you. Or for some of you guys, you're about to be put in place of something or someone else that should have been the main attraction. You've ever seen that before? I can't think of a specific person, but where it's like you're supposed to be like the opening act, and then there's the main person. Well, the main person couldn't show up that night, so you ended up doing the whole show, and boom, it was even better than it would have been had the original person showed up. Okay, so it's kind of like that. All right, you may get put in the place of something else and you end up doing it real big. Just get ready, because there's an unexpected spotlight that's about to be shown on you, and it's going to deviate people's attention from where they were originally looking, and maybe you will then become the source of light that they look to. Okay, so that's what I get for number 3. Let's go ahead and let's wrap this up. From being amongst the crowd to standing up, standing out, and making a grand exit, you are about to go from consumer to producer, from the passenger seat to the driver's seat. Something is shifting and changing in your life. And it's all because you decided to do one thing: stand up. You standing up has you standing out. You're not falling for anything. Now, what does that mean? Well, it got something to do with the way them zombies was glued to the stage where nothing was happening. So we're going to be breaking down the elements even further. We're going a lot deeper down this rabbit hole over on Patreon. Okay, there are going to be some new numbers for you guys to choose from, and you're going to be hearing more revelations that I got from this dream and how they could possibly apply to you. Now, keep in mind, over on Patreon, we got a lot of new things going on. You got educationals, you got extended vibes, of course, and then you have weekly lessons. Some of these lessons come with PDF printouts, worksheets, things of that nature. So come on over to our growing community on Patreon, and let's just learn and be enlightened to maybe some things that maybe you never thought about before, okay? But something that could definitely help you. So click the link in the description box and head on over there and get all of the juicy, oozy vibes that I got to offer over there, okay? In the meantime, you guys, make sure you subscribe to this channel. I would love to have you as one of my subscribers, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Make sure you guys like this video, share this video, tell a friend to tell a friend about what's going on over here. Maybe you know somebody else who needs this information, so go ahead and share it with them. All right, follow me on all my other social medias. If you're on Patreon, I'll see you over there. If this is where the vibes end for you, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next video.